They'll blanket you in Wi-Fi and profit off the radiation. Congregation collecting the people for that Satan. I keeps it blazing, cause I can read between the lines. I ain't blind, we unwind what they're really saying. Genetically modify what you're tasting. Don't need that college promise, so now you live up in your mom's basement. Redesign time so your mind is always wasted. Programmed to crave the basics. Keep the beta in stasis. Pay the state, kid. You're in debt for being born. Messengers are more than just the price for being warned. Don't be alarmed. Disconnect from their machinations. Stop subscribing to the folly of own nations. Bone breaking ain't the answer, cause they seek the ownership of souls. Spread the seeds and watch them grow. Break the chains of control. Break the chains of control.
So we, eternal balance of all that is good, true, and beautiful friends, welcome to your random Thursday night pre-episode episode of Rogue Ways. We are about to have Katherine O'Shea over on Rokfin tonight, which is going to be awesome. If you've checked in with Katherine before on Rogue Ways or anywhere else, you know that she has a beautiful gift that she brings to us and that we get to connect with and communicate with our animals directly and for free. Very, very cool, very, very gifted, and very, very generous of her. Anyone who has done this with Katherine knows just how amazing it is, and that it's beyond materialist explanation. We'll just say that much is true, and it's just very profound and very healing and beautiful. So I invite everybody to hop over there. We're going to start at 7 p.m. Mountain, 9 p.m. Eastern, as we always do. And I just like to come over here and say hi to anybody who is, still not necessarily remembering that Rokfin is the place on Thursday nights, or just wants to say hey and hang out for a minute. So hey everybody. And I also have some really exciting things to share and talk with you guys about, and this is a good chance to be able to do some of that too. So stick around for the updates. First of all, I'd like to remind anybody out there, all you guys listening and watching, that I was recently on Freeman Flies the Free Zone. Super awesome. Freeman and I have been friends for a while, but this was my first time on his show. He's been on Rogue Ways. We've had pizza together. He's been a huge inspiration to me for many, many, many years, long before Rogue Ways was a thing. And he's just such a beautiful soul. And so it was such a pleasure to be able to hang out with him for a few hours and talk about all kinds of stuff. And so if you haven't heard that episode yet, I highly recommend you jump over to freemintv.com and check that out. It's the most recent episode for this past week. And also I got a shout out on No Agenda, and that not thousands, I don't even have thousands of people messaging me ever. Lots and lots of people were messaging me from various different fronts and texting me and telling me, you're on No Agenda. And so, I don't know, it was a couple episodes ago. I don't remember which ones, and it was very small shout outs, but it was very cool to be recognized. It was that work that I did on the vaccines, allegedly, possibly shedding and perhaps causing some sort of effects in women. 100% of women I've talked to have experienced something, and many people think it could be in relation to that. And I don't even know if I'll get a strike for having said that. So if you want to learn more about that and you haven't seen that episode yet, it's called Strange Cycles, and it is over on Rokfin. I am linked right now below this video to Rokfin, to the episode for tonight. So if you use that, you can also get to any of the other episodes because you'll see the channel there. And that link is always down there. I also did a show with Truthzilla. I did a recent show with Consciousness on Tap, which is just released on her channel on Rokfin, which is rokfin.com/consciousness on tap. Super cool. Lindsay is a badass. I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about the other Lindsay, who's the host of Consciousness on Tap. Super similar. She's actually going to come join us on Rogue Way, so you'll get a chance to meet her. But go check that episode and her channel out in the meantime. And of course, I have some really exciting events coming up that I want to share with you guys that hopefully we can meet up in person. That would be rad. And that's my hope always. I'm always trying to set up in-person meetups, and it's been hard this past year, obviously, for various obvious reasons. We had the coolest meetup planned ever, and everybody was going to go, and it was so fun. And it all got ruined because of this super real, very serious agenda. I mean, pandemic. So anyway, but before we get to those events, always a reminder that on rogueways.org you can find everything that I do, which is a lot. I do tarot for people, I do spiritual guidance for people, I do ceremony for people, I sell orgone jewelry, crystal jewelry, stone jewelry, and my books. And I write all of these things for free, but I just released a new book. Woo! And if you didn't know about it, I would love to tell you all about it. It is called All Endings Are Beginnings. And it is essentially the ending monologue of many years of Rogue Ways, but put together as sort of like a God shot. It's a really, really cool book because you can carry it with you anyway. It is somewhat small and somewhat thin, so it's very easy and light to pack with you, but it is exactly like the type of book that you're someday just sitting there and you're like, I don't know what to do, or I'm stressing out, or I'm freaking out, or I'm so sad, or whatever it is, and you can just open it to any page and there is your answer. So you can look at it as an oracle sort of book, but you can also look at it as like that what I just described, right? If you're just feeling down, it's just full of inspirational beauty. And I have told you before, if you've heard, that all of those ending monologues I write before I have any idea what the show is even going to be about, and 100% of the time they are exactly mirror everything that we talked about in the show. And you can call that whatever you want, but I call it channeled. So this is a grouping of channeled information. I really love this feedback that I got from an early reader of the book before I released it. And they said that these snippets of wisdom are like a modern Khalil Gibran put into concise and thought-provoking prose. A great book to pick up for quick spiritual pick-me-up. I didn't expect that praise or feedback. I was just basically, asking them like, hey, is this like a need? Do you see anything like you want to give me feedback on or whatever? And they came back with that, and I was very honored. Khalil Gibran is amazing. So the fact that it's even reminiscent of that is pretty impressive to me. I hope that you are excited about it. Right now you can get it on Amazon already, and if you click on the books tab, all of my books are here and they all are linked to Amazon where you can buy them. But you can also buy this from me and any of my books from me directly in the shop area of the site, which is also where you can grab a tarot reading or spiritual guidance or any of that jewelry I make or any of that. But books and art here is the category under which you'll find it. And these are cheaper than Amazon. They also come with my signature and a little inscription directly to you. So it's a little bit more personal and fun. So if you want to buy any of those, they're here. The All Endings Are Beginnings are on pre-order right now because I don't actually have them yet. They won't be here for another few weeks. That's just how long it takes for me to get them printed and ready. So anyway, I wanted to definitely share that exciting news with you, and hopefully some of you, I know many of you have already bought the pre-order, and I know some of you are planning on buying it soon. Of course, Rokfin is the place to find me on Thursdays, and I try to also mirror a lot of Rogue Ways there. Right now, I'm able to finally stream to Rokfin and YouTube when I do the regular Rogue Ways episodes, but Middle Path on Thursday nights will always only be on Rokfin. And so you'll catch me there. This is rokfin.com/rogueways. That's ROKFIN. Of course, I always inviting you to rogue.locals.com. This is a place to be. This is where the party people hang out, all the rogue warriors. It's a nice place to share information and chat with one another and just discuss all of the craziness in the world. So go head over there. It is also a really nice place to support Rogue Ways. If you love this show, if you love Middle Path, and you want to support, then this is the place to do it. By being a supporter, you're able to post, comment, share anything you want, and also that money supports the show and comes to me. It's $2 a month. Super, super, super cheap, especially because you get exclusive content that you'll find nowhere else. And finally, the events. What's my time here? All right. I really am leaning towards heading to this festival. It's the Reconnection Festival. It's REKINECTION, Reconnection. And it's June 10th through 13th. It's in Missouri. It's just outside of St. Louis. And Chance from Interverse is going to be there. He has a booth there as far as I understand. And It's pretty cool. You know, it's not your average festival as far as I can tell. There is music and there is all kinds of events and yoga, performing arts, visionary art, holistic wellness, and community, but it's child friendly too, which is nice. It kind of feels to me like the spirit of the Rainbow Gathering, but obviously very different because it's structured and has money exchange. But you know what I mean? It's that sort of energy as far as I can tell. A lot of these things like Burning Man and other things have really sold out a lot. I mean, they're like requiring vaccination, which is ridiculous. And this place isn't. There's no mask required. There's no social distancing required. Obviously, they are saying we encourage you to wear a mask and we encourage you to social distance because they have to, otherwise they'll get shut down. But the people have made it very, very clear that absolutely no one will be harassed or kicked out or anything for any of their choices. So we might see some masked people there. I have a feeling we won't see many. And I am personally very excited about that, about spending time with people outside in nature in this spirit of really genuine love and truth and connection, especially now in the midst of all of this stuff that's trying to keep us disconnected. So 95% I'm going, and basically I'm putting this out here because if you also want to go, then we can all hang out there together. And so I am trying to get as many people as possible. If you are going to go, then use the checkout code Innerverse. I'm putting it in the chat for Snake Jones and anyone else who's too shy to say hi. Because then you'll get $10 off your ticket. And when you look at the price of the ticket, don't be scared. It is $180, I think, but that includes camping for the whole weekend. And I look at that as all of the things that you get to experience here, and you also get a camping spot, and it's beautiful. You go look at this park. I think they link to it here. They don't. Anyways, if you go to the park page, Astral Valley Art Park, here I have time. Let's just do it together. It's a really, really beautiful place. I mean, it's a cool last name anyway. But you see all this like, lakes and rivers and 230 acres, 50,000 gallons of fresh water per day. There's free showers. Like, it just sounds pretty awesome. So I have been wanting to do a meetup, like I said, for a while because last year's didn't work out. And I'm leaning towards this as my meetup for this year because I know it is going to work out. It's like less than a month away, or it's about a month away. So yeah. Ooh, Snake Jones, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome if you could go and we could connect there. I think there's like day tickets and stuff too if you're close enough. I don't know. You'll have to check that out. But if you're listening to this, go see. And finally, I want to invite everyone to the 1 day of brightness summer solstice. We've done a 1 day of brightness winter solstice, a 1 day of brightness spring equinox, and now we're doing the summer solstice. And this is especially good if you've been needing like a really deep pick-me-up. They're very profoundly moving events. The people who come are all the perfect people to be there every time. It's like obviously meant to be that group for that day. Everybody brings their own story and their own skills and their own abilities, and then we all kind of come together to share our energy. And if you've never been in an intentional group of people of a spiritual mindset doing meditation and various sort of learning and education on energy related sort of topics and consciousness related topics, then you probably have never experienced that really awesome thing that happens where you all amplify each other's depth. So if you have any aspect of yourself that is like somewhat psychic or somewhat can see auras or any of these things, or you're not quite sure, this is the type of place where you like find out and you kind of tap into that deeper. So super cool. It is on Zoom. It is virtual, so anyone can go. It's on the 19th, which is the day before the solstice, actually, and it's the day before Father's Day because the Father's Day is the solstice this year, which is kind of fitting. The sun, fathers, So we wanted to do it the day before to make sure more people can go. So it actually says Sunday, and I need to edit that so that it says Saturday, June 19th. And as usual, it's about 8 hours or less, 6 hours or so, 8 hours, 7 hours. And we do a lunch break and we do potty breaks and we do all of that. So it's not stressful or overwhelming. And it's really, really just beautiful. Every time everyone who goes is like, I'm coming next time. I can't wait. And it has been described as putting together a superhero team of spiritual badasses, which I think is my favorite feedback ever. So I hope to see you all there. Those are on sale now on the site, in the shop. If you go to courses and events, or man, now I don't remember what category. Oh, it tells me right here. Classes, consultations, and courses. One Day of Brightness, Summer Solstice. So hope to see you at both of those events. They're actually pretty close to each other. But I am excited about both. And of course, I'm excited about the book. I hope that every single one of you gets this in your hands. It's not anything you would ever regret. It's only going to bring you joy.